Hello guys, this is Real Recaps. In this video, I will talk about a 1983 American romantic drama film, A Night in Heaven. Before we start, I hope you will like and subscribe to the channel. The story takes place at a well-known college in Florida, where Rick is one of the most popular students. However, his popularity doesn't come from academic success. Rick is more of an athlete, completely dedicated to sports and physical activities but lacking interest in studying. His teacher, Faye, is the opposite. She values education deeply and takes it very seriously. Today is the final class of the year, and Rick has been assigned to give a speech. Instead of approaching it with seriousness, he treats it as a joke, making the students laugh. However, Faye, who is seated among the crowd, is not amused. She interrupts him, reminding him that this is a place for learning, not comedy, and she had expected better from him. As the class comes to an end and students begin to leave, Rick approaches Faye, pleading with her to reconsider her decision about his performance. However, Faye stands her ground, informing him that he will have to retake the course. This puts Rick in a difficult position, as his problems have just increased. Meanwhile, Faye is dealing with her own challenges. She is married to Whitney, a highly intelligent rocket scientist, but he was recently laid off, which has left him feeling discouraged and frustrated. Additionally, Faye has a sister, Patsy, who is her complete opposite, carefree, full of energy, and always living in the moment. That evening, Faye attempts to reconnect with Whitney, hoping to bring some comfort to their strained relationship. She makes an effort to get close to him, but Whitney pushes her away, saying that it's too late and he's not in the mood. Hurt and frustrated, Faye questions why he is avoiding her. Whitney admits that losing his job has shaken his confidence. She tries to uplift him, suggesting he start his own business, but Whitney refuses to listen. The next day, Patsy unexpectedly arrives from Chicago, determined to improve Faye's mood. She drags Faye out for a night of fun at a strip club. To Faye's surprise, she discovers that Rick is one of the performers at the club, going by the stage name Ricky the Rocket. On stage, Rick is the center of attention, captivating the audience with his confident moves and charm. The women in the crowd are thrilled as he performs, offering lap dances and winning everyone over. Sitting in the audience, Faye is mesmerized, unable to look away. Rick notices her among the spectators and, in a bold move, approaches her mid-performance. He gives her a lap dance, and the atmosphere between them becomes intense. Their eyes lock, and Rick leans in as if to kiss her. Overwhelmed, Faye manages to pull away, creating some distance between them. The next day, the college hosts a reunion, where Rick and Faye cross paths once more. Seizing the opportunity, Rick approaches her and pleads for another chance to pass the course. He insists that he does not want to retake it, but Faye remains unwavering, explaining that grades are final and rules cannot be changed. As they talk, Rick begins to realize that if he plays his cards right, he may still be able to change Faye's perception of him. He shifts the tone of their conversation, flirting with her. Faye, attempting to steer the conversation in a different direction, asks him about his true aspirations. Rick responds with honesty, revealing that his dream is to become a hotel manager. His ultimate goal is to earn enough money so that his mother, who has worked tirelessly all her life, can retire and live comfortably. With a playful smirk, he adds, "I even had a dream about you last night." Before Faye can react, her husband, Whitney, unexpectedly enters the room. He immediately senses the undeniable tension between Rick and Faye. Strangely, Whitney does not seem upset. If anything, it appears as though he is simply observing, perhaps even intrigued by the situation. However, Rick is not single. He has a girlfriend named Slick, who is fiercely possessive of him. She grows jealous whenever she senses that his attention is drifting towards someone else, particularly Faye. In an effort to keep Rick devoted to her, Slick once even bought him a car, a gesture that Rick clearly appreciated. But when she witnesses him flirting with Faye, she becomes visibly upset. Determined to outshine Faye in every possible way, Slick sees winning Rick's complete devotion as more than just love, it is a means of proving her superiority over Faye. Meanwhile, Patsy, Faye's free-spirited sister, calls to invite her to a hotel for a fun night out. Faye hesitates, she doesn't really feel like going out. However, to her surprise, Whitney encourages her to go, saying that everything has been dull at home anyway and she deserves to have some fun. Though reluctant at first, Faye, realizing she could use a break from her worries, eventually agrees. At the hotel, another one of Rick's performances is in progress. His show, also called Ricky the Rocket, is in full swing. On stage, Rick commands the audience's attention with his dance moves, confidently showing off his athletic physique. The women in the crowd cheer, enjoying every moment of the performance. From a distance, Faye watches, feeling both intrigued and uneasy as Rick captivates the audience. However, Patsy's trip is unexpectedly cut short. Something urgent comes up, and she has to return to Chicago a day earlier than planned. Before leaving, she hands Faye the keys to her hotel room, suggesting that Faye stay the night, enjoy the space, and take some time to relax. Patsy even informs Whitney that she'll be spending the night with Faye, ensuring that Faye is left alone in the room after her departure. Later that evening, Rick stops by the hotel to visit his mother, who works there and is currently on her shift. During his visit, he unexpectedly runs into Faye just as she is about to leave. Once again, Rick flirts with her, making it clear that his interest in her has not faded. That night, Rick surprises Faye by meeting her at her car, holding a red rose. Touched by the gesture, Faye finds herself unable to suppress the emotions she has started to develop for him. Soon after, the two head to Faye's hotel room, where the tension between them escalates into a kiss. One thing leads to another, and they spend the night together, sharing an intimate moment. However, the morning brings an unexpected twist. As soon as Faye leaves the hotel room, Rick wastes no time calling his girlfriend, Slick. Shortly after, Slick arrives, and Rick repeats the same romantic gestures with her. The two grow affectionate, take a shower together, and rekindle their relationship. Their private moment is suddenly interrupted when Faye unexpectedly returns. She is stunned to find Rick and Slick together in the shower. The betrayal hits her hard, leaving her humiliated and heartbroken, realizing she was nothing more than a pawn in Rick's games. Meanwhile, Whitney is dealing with struggles of his own. He has been attending multiple job interviews, but each one ends in rejection. Frustrated and feeling defeated, he decides to call Faye. The moment she answers, Whitney immediately senses that something is wrong. Concerned, Whitney heads to the hotel and checks the security footage. His worst fears are confirmed when he sees Rick leaving Faye's room. Consumed by rage and betrayal, Whitney seeks out Rick, driven by a need for revenge. In a fit of anger, Whitney kidnaps Rick at gunpoint and takes him to a small dock. There, he forces Rick to strip, humiliating him as a form of payback. Terrified, Rick begs for his life, swearing that he will never sleep with another man's wife again. Still fuming with anger, Whitney fires a shot not at Rick, but at a boat, creating a hole in its surface. As water starts flooding in, Whitney leaves Rick stranded, ensuring that he learns a lesson he won't forget. Though Rick ultimately survives, the experience leaves a deep and lasting impact on him. Back at home, Whitney waits for Faye. When she arrives, she sits beside him, ready to apologize for her mistakes. However, before she can speak, Whitney stops her, telling her that words are unnecessary, he understands everything. The two hold hands, signaling both forgiveness and a fresh start. Together, they reflect on their younger years, the dreams they once shared, and the hardships they have endured. In that moment, they make a promise to support each other, overcome their struggles, and rebuild their relationship stronger than before. The end. Thanks for watching.